Hello guys, and welcome back to Microsoft Intune Training. In this session, we will see Enrollment Status Page overview, and for that, we will go to Home page. We have to go to intune.microsoft.com, which is endpoint.microsoft.com, and on the home page, we will click on Devices, and under Devices, we will click on Windows. Under Windows, we will click on Enrollment, and under Windows Autopilot, you see Enrollment Status Page. So this is one of the most important settings that we have to configure before we move on to testing Windows Autopilot. So let's click on Enrollment Status Page. Let's click on all users and all devices and properties. So Enrollment Status Page is basically when the device is being provisioned, it shows a status page. On the status page, you will see something called how many applications have been installed, how many policies have successfully applied to the device, how many configuration profiles have successfully applied to the device, if the device needed a certificate or a VPN connection certificate or anything like that. So everything about the status of the deployment profile of the autopilot, that is the status page. So status page needs to be configured for our deployment. So in order to do that, we have to click on Settings, Edit, and if you see it says the enrollment status page appears during initial device setup, which I just explained, and during first user sign in. If enabled, user can see the configuration progress of assigned apps and profiles targeted to their device. So we have to say yes to this setting, only then we will be able to do the changes to the other settings. So show apps and profile configuration progress. Yes, we want to say it to yes, because we want the user to see what's going on the screen. So during the deployment profile, if it does not tell you what's happening and if there are policies and application needs to be installed and assigned to the device, you will be blindsided. So in order to avoid that, we need to enable it by clicking on yes. The second setting says show an error when installation takes longer than specified number of minutes. So it says 60 minutes. I personally change it and keep it to 90 minutes because 60 I think is still a less time in the organizational scenario. When you have multiple applications in place, it might take more than 60 minutes to complete the autopilot deployment, but in our case it won't be that much. So to be on a safer side, I would still take 90 minutes. If it fails, it will still try to finish the deployment of autopilot for 90 minutes, and something gets stuck after 90 minutes, it will give an error that the deployment was not successful, it was unsuccessful. All right, so moving on, we have show custom message when time limit or error occurs. So as I said, when the time limit, that is 90 minutes, crosses, then a custom message will show up on the screen. Right now it is the default one, which says setup could not be completed, please try again or contact your support personnel for help. So you can change it to whatever you want. If I want to, I can change it to please try or contact your organization's help desk on the following contact number, and then you can add your organization's contact details like this: +1 437 XXX-XXXX. So I'm just leaving it as an example because I'm not going to give a real number. You can also keep adding more information, like you can also reach out on the email and you can type in the email as well of the help desk. So similarly, you have another setting that says turn on log collections and diagnostic page for end users. So this is something we say yes because we want to collect the diagnostics as well. If error occurs or something happens during the deployment, we want to collect diagnostic results. We want to check the log and error to understand what happened, what went wrong. All right, so the next setting we have is only show page to devices provisioned by out-of-box experience. So this needs to be yes, because this enrollment status page will only show up for out-of-box experience devices. So this needs to be yes. Moving on, we have block device use until all apps and profiles are installed. If you say yes, you will have to select the applications. What apps do you want as a mandatory app before the user logs in? But if you leave it at no, you don't have to configure the rest. So you can simply click on yes and then allow users to reset if installation error occurs. You can leave it according to your requirement. You can leave it at no or yes. Allow users to use device if installation error occurs. You can leave it to no or yes based on your requirement, your company's security policies. The last one is, since we said yes to this option, block device use until all apps and profiles are installed. The last option says block device use until required apps are installed if they are assigned to the user or device. So if you click on selected, you will have to select some of the apps. Right now we don't have any applications, but you will have to select those applications that you want the users to have as a first sign in. Sometimes in the organization, the company might want the users to have the VPN application installed in order to connect to the company resources. And to do that, you will have to deploy the VPN application with the deployment profile. You will have to create the package and wrap it around the deployment profile and deploy it to the devices. In that case, you can, based on your criteria, you can select that particular application here, mentioning that this application is a mandatory application. If this application is not available at the first sign in, the user will not be able to log into the device. So this application will be required to be installed before the user signs in. So that's what it is. I'm going to close out and I'm going to say no to this setting because we don't want to configure that. So let's click on review plus save and save. Alright, so this configuration is done. The enrollment status page configuration is done. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Take care.